Hey everybody, how are you doing? I'm doing okie dokie. It is April 26, 2013. Oh, right away, if you like my jewelry, send me a PM. I can tell you where you can get it. Okay, enough about that. Um, I want to talk about my LP collection. That would be vinyl 33 and a third records. It's not a big collection at all. Okay, when I was, oh boy, I think I bought my very first record when I was about 14. It was Godspell, and that was back in about 1976. Godspell, that's an interesting start. So, of course, then my record collection grew over the years and we got into the 80s and these newfangled things called CDs came out and vinyl LPs were very quickly disappearing, and turntables were also very quickly disappearing. It was all just being replaced by CDs. And I remember going into the record stores, and the stores were reusing all their LP displays by putting the CDs, because they're so much smaller, were being packaged in what was called the long box, and it was the same length as an LP so that it would fit in their old merchandise bins. But you know how it goes. So I ended up stashing all my vinyl LPs like everybody else, right? And repurchasing my favorite ones in CD format. Well, before I'd even gotten a CD player, a friend of mine, I think it was for Christmas, sent me my very first CD. It was Tommy Shaw's CD, Ambition. Anybody who knows me knows that I love Styx and Tommy, and I have since 1975. I'm so ridiculously loyal. It is absolutely disgusting. Loyal, but hopefully not obsessed. I mean, I don't have posters all over the place, and I've never met them or anything, but I'm very loyal. So, I guess about 2 years ago, I decided I was going to start. I found out that artists were now going back to releasing their records on vinyl. I thought, how cool. And I had heard, yeah, it was 2011. Tommy released a bluegrass album called The Great Divide, and it was available on vinyl. And I thought, oh wow, I'm going to continue the tradition. So my very first CD was a Tommy Shaw CD, and my very first second generation vinyl is going to be also Tommy. Because I no longer have my old vinyl LPs. I had to sell them off during a rough patch. So I had zero. Music for a while. So yeah, I bought my very first vinyl LP again, and it's by Tommy, and it is indeed The Great Divide. Here we go. And it is such a good album. And what's cool, extra cool, is it came also with a CD. Excuse me. Which you would think that's kind of redundant, but actually the CD has one extra song on it. So that's kind of neat, a bonus track. But yeah, I'm sure. And what's nice is it's so big. It has lyrics printed out. You don't need a microscope to read things. So here's the front, here's the back, and here's the inside. It's also nice and big. It's just so luxurious, and the songs are really cool. And I've never occurred to me to try listen to a bluegrass album. And there it is, 33 1/3 vinyl. Woo! But I figured, okay, anything Tommy does, I always love it. So I was confident that if I bought this, that I would love it. And I was right, because I do. But it's a departure for me. So that's my first record. Then a friend, my friend Moonchimes, who has disappeared, unfortunately. I haven't heard from her in a long time. I hope she's okay. She wanted a scarf that I made, and we decided to do a trade. So she traded me, it was originally supposed to be, I think, just 2 albums, but she ended up sending me 5. So she sent me Bee Gees Gold. And yes, we have the inside jacket and all, you know, Bee Gees Gold. I think this came out in the 70s at some point. Let's see. 76. She sent me Bee Gees Gold. And she sent me Kansas Point of No Return, which was one of my favorites back in the day. This has Dust in the Wind on it. And this is the one with the really neat calligraphy on parchment. So it looks like an old book. Like that. Isn't that pretty? And there's some really good songs on here. It's funny that she sent me a lot of my favorite records without knowing it. This needs a little help. This jacket's gotten torn, but the inner sleeve rather has gotten torn. That's okay. Just tells you it's been around a while. It's been loved. And we carefully get that back in. And here's a Styx album, Cornerstone. This is when I started messing around with the way the jackets are designed. So we've got, this has Babe on it. And this was 1981, I think. Let's see. Excuse me, 79. So this opens kind of funny. It opens this way, like this. And it's kind of oriented towards, I think that was when they sent out the Voyager. And so it's got kind of weird, they're trying to make it look like the Voyager, what was it? Plate. This is silver, sorry it's flashing so much. The plaque that was on the Voyager that had the special symbols on it and everything, and a message to whatever alien being received it. That was back in the late 70s. And we have a picture of the band, which is always nice. And the lyrics, which I love an album that's got lyrics. Because then you really know the song. So yeah, Styx from 79, and such a nice friend sent me Paradise Theater, which is also another good Styx album, which came out after Cornerstone. I think it was what, the one after Cornerstone, I think. And this opens weird too. I never know how to put my record back, but like that. Picture of the band and lyrics. And then they pull this out of the top. This, I'm sure, is a collector's item because of, I hope you can see it. So you've got the regular here, and you've got the laser etching on this side, which must make it a collector's item. Can't see it too well on camera, but it's like it's etched into the vinyl. It's sort of the decorative work that was on the album, front of the album. So that's pretty cool. And the music, of course, is good. This, if I remember correctly, my copy, I got one of the early ones, so that had a clear plastic sleeve, if I remember right. But what happened is with the re-releases, they would tend to cheap out and just give you a plain paper sleeve, white paper, just like this. Don't kill it, just get it in. Yeah. I always had trouble putting records back neatly and carefully. And also, this is the last one from Moonshine. The first Foreigner album also was one of my favorites back in the 70s when it first came out. And it was also something I owned back in the 70s. So somehow she knew I liked all this. And here's the sleeve with lyrics and just the vinyl. And this has Cold as Ice, Feels Like the First Time, Woman Oh Woman, Star Rider, Long, Long Way from Home, Head Knocker, Damage is Done, At War with the World, Fool for You Anyway. And it has 5 songs on each side, and it runs probably about 40 minutes. And don't forget to flip it over after the first 5 songs. Okay, today I got in the mail these that I purchased through Amazon.com. This was one of my favorites. This came out in, I think it says 80. Yeah, this came out in 81. Bee Gees, Living Eyes. Front and back. I love the photography on this. It's just so pretty. And look at this beautiful inside. You don't get this with CDs. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Look at them in the mansion. And their beautiful jackets and everything. It's just so, classy. And lots of credits on here, lots of lyrics on here. You don't always get lyrics with a Bee Gees album, and that helps a lot because I can't always understand them, to tell you the truth. What's interesting about this album is it has a song on it where Morris has lead vocal, and I can't think of any other Bee Gees songs where Morris has the lead vocal. It's called Wildflower, and it's very pretty. So there's some good songs on here. The track listing is Living Eyes, He's a Liar, Paradise, Don't Fall in Love with Me, Soldiers, and then side 2, I Still Love You, Wildflower, Nothing Could Be Good, Crying Every Day, and Be Who You Are. Produced by the Bee Gees, Carl Richardson, and Albie Galutin. I love that name, Albie Galutin. For Barry Gibb Productions, Yam Inc., Moby Inc., and Carlby Productions. Okay, that would be Carl and Albie together. Interesting. Oh, it's just very, all of these must have been shot in England, maybe at Robin's house or something. So that'll be something. I haven't listened to it yet today, but it'll be so nice to hear it again. It's been a long time. It was one of the ones I sold off back in 08. I think it was early 09 actually, when I had to just sell everything and so that I could move out of state, etc. Now this one is pretty cool. I found this when I was about 13, I think. My father was a cinematographer, or videographer, I guess you'd say. Well, more cinematographer. And he had his little company, and he would get hired to make movies for people. Not big cinema movies, but like industrial movies, like somebody's I remember there's one company he was shooting valves. It's like a just to show how a valve worked or whatever, instructional or something like that. That sort of thing. And so he always needed background music for those movies. And he would dub over whatever, this is a valve and here's how it works, and this is a something something valve which features whatever it was. And so he would go and buy instrumental music. So I was going through the record closet one day and I found this, and I asked to borrow it, and he said okay. And I borrowed it for about 2 years. And I found him and I said, do you want this back? He said, oh no, you can keep it. And so I kind of kidnapped it. But again, this was one I couldn't keep a few years ago, and I've been wanting to replace it for a long time. It's instrumental. It's called the Well-Tempered Synthesizer. If you guys, some of remember Switched on Bach, which came out in 1968, and I think it has something to do with the movie A Clockwork Orange. I guess it was the soundtrack to it, I'm not sure. And the person who performs this is named Walter Carlos, who is now Wendy Carlos, because Walter had a sex change operation at some point. But this was back when he was a man. He did this performance, and it's all classical music performed on a synthesizer. So you've got the stuff by Monteverdi and Scarlatti and Handel and Bach. And then there's a whole lot of writing about the story behind it and everything. So this is going to be really fun to listen to. And this came sealed, factory sealed. I mean, this has been sealed up since whenever it was released, whenever they printed this. Obviously, it wasn't one of the first ones to be released, but judging by the way that this is put together, I would say this is pretty old, maybe 1970 or so. But inside here, when I opened this up today, it looks like, and I got this through Amazon.com, Orpheus Music. It looked like this, and it had the shrink wrap over it. And I looked at it, I said, that was not on the original, that wasn't on my copy. What is this? The Wild Sounds of New Music. So I pulled it out, and then at first, oh, it's a 45. Wow. Well, I have 45 attachment, I can play 45, so I pulled it out. I haven't listened to this yet. And this has got to be really, oops, don't rip it, Dopey. This has got to be very rare. So if I mess this up, I'm going to be mad. Getting caught on the paper here. It's not a 45, it's an itty bitty 33. Because a 45 would have this center, there's a little sort of perforated part in a label. That would be punched out. And it says on it, it's right there, it says 33 1/3. So it's a itty bitty 45 sized 33. And it's called The Wild Sounds of New York. Terry Riley, A Rainbow in Curved Air. Second track, Lazare Bache, Chronophagy. Yikes. 3, Harry Parch, Castor and Pollux. That's side 1. Side 2, Luciano Berio, Sinfonia, section 3. Second track, Steve Reich, Violin Phase. And track 3, Conlon Nancaro, Study number 7. Oh, this is Studies for Player Piano on this third one. So brand new music. I have no idea. I guess it's all instrumental though, but for some reason it was included in this printing of a Well-Tempered synthesizer, so I got a neat little bonus there. I mean, this record's gotta be a collector's item, you know? That is so cool. So anyway, those are all that's my whole collection, and I'm pleased with it. I've got nothing but the best of the best, and so I'm gonna go listen to some of my new old music now. Take care, guys. Have a great day.